Very much for coming to the official press conference for Saturday's MTK Fight Night in Cardiff. We're very pleased to be back here. Welsh boxing seems to be on the rise. It's great to see some of the press here supporting it. We're going to start with a word from the MTK Global promoter Lee Eaton. If anyone's ever seen him out, he is the excitable type. So tell us how excited you are to be right here, right now.
Cheers, Isaac. Very happy to be back in Cardiff for our third show in 8 months. When we first had the conversation regarding Cardiff, we said we obviously want to change, try and make a dent in the Welsh boxing market and improve the market for the fighters. Obviously we've signed a few fighters, and then obviously that was 10 months ago, and now we're back with ESPN, which is massive for Cardiff. Also with an EBU European title fight for Jay Harris, which is pretty unreal for obviously a small town like Cardiff, so it's good to be back here. Obviously also we've got the WBO European between Craig Evans and Stephen Ormond as well, plus obviously a Welsh title fight. So no, it's good, I'm excited.
Good stuff. One of the things that's pretty key to mention, a lot of boxing fans are football fans, but anyone who's desperate to watch that Champions League final on Saturday night will be able to in the venue. So what extra spice does that give us in terms of, we've got the ESPN cameras here, but there'll also be a pretty rowdy, I know there's Kieran Gething, big Liverpool fan for a start, so what extra edge does that give the night?
I'm going to make sure Kieran's on at 8 o'clock then. No, I'm joking. Yeah, we realised that both teams are in the final English teams, that's why we obviously spoke with the venue. We've got it organised, so there's going to be screens all around the venue so people can carry on watching the boxing and they can watch the football. So you're getting 2 sports for the price of 1. What a bargain.
Great stuff, Lee. Right, we're going to move on to one of the country's key boxing figures here in Gary Lockett. He's trained some of the best fighters around this area, and he'll be in the corner of some very promising fighters, and indeed the headliner Jay Harris on Saturday night. Gary, you obviously know better than almost anybody. What state is Welsh boxing in right now, and where's it heading for?
First of all, that's some introduction you gave me there, Isaac, so thanks for that. Don't believe too much of what Isaac just said. I'm sure he's just being kind. I think for years that we've been left, as an afterthought in Wales. Constantly London fighters, Manchester fighters, Liverpool fighters, they always get the rub of the green. And the guys are the nearly men, maybe in Wales, perhaps in Scotland, in certain areas of England. That's always been the case with Wales, but with the introduction of now MTK coming in, this is third bill, that's a thing of the past now. I think that if any Welsh fighter is there or thereabouts, they're going to get an opportunity to fight for these titles. That's, for me as a trainer and secondly a manager, that's an absolutely unbelievable prospect. And it's obviously it's something for the fighters to look forward to, because for years and years and years, as I said, we've had fighters that are unable to get signed by big promoters, and a lot of people look at me and say I'm stupid because we're Welsh, but that's the way that it's always been. And you see when a Welsh fighter wins a major title like British, Commonwealth, European or world title, they bloody well deserve it. You wouldn't have many Welsh fighters put into the situation where they are in the left hand side of the corner and they have an opponent bring in. When a Welsh fighter's in one of the corners, it tends to be as the away opponent most of the time in a world title fight. But what I'm trying to say is now with MTK, the power that MTK is now coming into Wales and making a big sort of stink in Wales now, if I may use that word, then I think that's a thing of the past.
Great stuff, Gary. Just a quick word on your headliner, Jay Harris, stepping up against a recent world title challenger in Angel Moreno. Is he ready, and can he prove his world level on Saturday night?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, Peter Harris, former British champion. He's a little bit different to what it used to be when he was British champion. Mine's a little different in colour and a little less short. Peter trains Jay, and but I manage Jay. Look, we know all about Angel Moreno. We've seen some of his fights. We saw the last one against Charlie Edwards, and he's a man that we respect, and he's going to be there for the 12 rounds. And I think Jay's going to have to be at his very best, but also Angel's going to have to be at his best to get anywhere near Jay as well.
Fantastic, thank you, Gary. We're going to move on to another one of your fighters, Meredith Thomas, local to Cardiff again, young at just 22, and already 7-0 though. So I guess you'll be bringing some big support. What does it mean for a fighter like yourself to be boxing on an occasion like this?
It's massive. Yeah, it's massive. Fighting in my hometown, I'm from Cardiff, so it's amazing. MTK is a good show to be on. Just happy to be able to have this opportunity.
Fantastic. You look over there, we see Steve Robinson, former world champion. You've got Barry Jones will be commentating on the night. Gavin Rees, there he is. Can't leave him out. When you think about great heroes of Welsh boxing like that, how much does it inspire a young fighter like yourself?
It's massive. Seeing all them do it is obviously pushes me to know people like me can do it. Yeah, it's a massive motivation. Obviously, my trainer, he achieved a lot in pro boxing, so that's another something for me to look up to. So yeah, got a lot of good people around me. So.
Thanks very much, Merv. And all the best on Saturday.
Cheers, thanks.
It is Merv, isn't it?
I'm ready.
I've been told Merv. We're going to go now on to another sort of golden boy in Sean McGoldrick, a former amateur star. 2 Commonwealth Games medals, one of which was gold, and he's already 8-0 as a pro. He's here courtesy of our friends at Matchroom, who we'd like to thank for allowing us to put him on this bill. Sean, you're now down in Jamie Moore's gym. You're keeping your pants on, and because that's difficult down there. It's pretty special company to be in though on the technical front. I guess you're learning a lot in that environment.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great gym. You know, there's loads of good lads there, and I'm just enjoying being there and learning, and just gaining some valuable experience.
And has Tommy Coyle managed to keg you yet?
No, not yet.
Good stuff.
Managed.
I guess when you're 8-0 and you had the sort of amateur pedigree you accumulated, titles can't be that far away. Do you target them by the end of this year?
Yeah, definitely. You know, obviously all the boxers want to be involved in title fights, but first thing first is Saturday night, and that's got my full attention, like, you know. So, but definitely, obviously, if I'm successful on Saturday night, or when I'm successful on Saturday night, then I want to go on and really start pushing on and making a dent.
Great stuff, Sean. Look forward to seeing you make that dent on Saturday night. We're just going to have a very quick word now with Zhankov Turarov, who's a monstrous Kazakh fighter. He's already 22-0 with 15 knockouts. He's here to sort of regain momentum in his career. It could be a spectacular thing to watch on Saturday night. He's just going to do a quick introduction. So, Zhankov, tell the people what they can expect.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
From Kazakhstan. I'm coming. I'm going to war. Good luck for everything.
Great stuff, Zhankov. Love that. Welcome. We're now going to go on to our first title fight. Speak to the challenger first, Craig Woodruff. He's going to take on Kieran Gething for the Welsh crown. There's been a few words ahead of this one, Craig. You said the other day you were going to make him pay. What exactly are you going to make him pay for? Has there been something wrong that you don't know about?
No, not really. It's just writing me off. You can't write me off. Whoever fights me, I'm not going to give anyone an easy fight, whoever I fight. Win or lose, I'll come to fight again, whoever. Yeah, just don't write me off, so it's going to bite me in the ass then when I come and win on Saturday. Yeah, so.
These national titles often produce the real spectacles and sort of steel shows despite what's ahead of them on the card. Are you expecting a proper all-out war with Kieran?
Well, I know he comes to the fight, I'm going to come to the fight, so yeah, I guess it's going to be a good fight for the fans to watch. Yeah.
He sat just over there. I mean, there's been a tiny bit of needle on social media. Do you have any message direct for him today?
No, I don't talk, I just let my hands do the talking.
Good stuff. We'll hear from the champion now. Kieran, proudly parading that rather smart Welsh belt. What do you have to say back to Craig, who says that you're maybe overlooking him and that will bite you on the arse on the night?
I'm not overlooking him at all. I know he's a very good fighter, and I've complimented him any time that anyone's asked me about him. But I just think he's too small for the weight, and I think that it's probably going to show on the night as well.
Is that what you plan to do? Sort of head straight for him and bully him physically?
I ain't going to tell you my game plan, am I? But we've got something set out, and if it goes to plan, I'm pretty sure that there's not a lot he's going to do to counteract it.
I know you've got designs beyond Welsh level, as proud as you are to boast that belt. So is it a case of looking to make an example of Craig on the night?
I want to make a statement. I definitely want to prove that I can surpass this level. You know, like you said, I'm very proud of the Welsh title I got, and I'd love to defend it again. But I do want to push on at the same time. So whatever comes next, if I put on the show that I really want to put on against Craig, because like I said, he is a good fighter, and I want to perform higher than that level.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Kieran. Look forward to a great title fight between you two gentlemen. Now on to young Jacob Robinson. Expectation can be a weight to carry. This man seems to be carrying it in style. Big name. I remember the first fight night I went to in Cardiff, and Jacob knocked out a guy called Jules Phillips, I think his name was. It was a pretty serious KO, maybe one of the knockouts of the year last year. So, Jacob, we know you've got the power, but are you still growing, and do you believe that power is still increasing?
Yeah, I just want to box really, and just obviously I know I got the power there, but just my dad saying just box really and don't really look for the KO. I think my last fight I sort of looked for that too much, and it didn't come. So I just got to be a bit more patient and go beyond the jab a bit more. So.
Good stuff. We mentioned your father a couple of times. How easy is it for you? You seem to be sort of breezing through it. I guess being Steve Robinson's son comes with its own expectations, as we mentioned earlier. Is that something that, rather than you feel sort of oppressed by, you're actually welcoming and it helps you?
Yeah, I think it's great really. My dad being an ex-world champion, I know there's a lot of weight on my shoulders, but I like it really. To be honest, I like that pressure, and you know, we're going to see me shine a little bit more come my next fights now.
It is your first 8-rounder just lastly against a pretty Forget that question.
I did want 8-rounder.
Good stuff. Have you got any goals or a rough timeline on when you want to fight for titles?
Yeah, really after this fight, really some sort of regional title. Maybe an 8-rounder after, but I'd definitely jump in for a regional title now.
Superb, Jake. We look forward to watching your next step on Saturday. We're going to go to our second title fight now, and this is for the WBO European Lightweight crown. We've got a Welshman who holds it and certainly doesn't want to let go of it, and we've got an Irishman here to try and take it. So, Stephen, a fine wine. You're back here.
Back again, yeah.
How do you feel? I've spoken to you a few times. Just tell the people how you feel physically and emotionally.
I feel good. I feel enjoying boxing again. So Craig beat me the first time. It's a great opportunity to get a rematch. So I'm grateful for it. Looking forward.
How much is that first fight helping you prepare? I mean, how much does the sense of revenge and the fact that maybe you didn't give the best account of yourself that night fueled you in training?
I don't know. Just been training hard, but I got beaten fair and square in the first fight. It's a tough fight, and I already respect him. But after the fight, more respect because he's a tough lad.
At this stage, I mean, people always tip you for world level. At this stage, do you still believe you can get there? Obviously, this is pretty much a make or break fight in terms of the journey. But is that still the ultimate goal?
Yeah, every fight is my last fight, so don't look past this fight, you know. So going for it time.
Great stuff. We're going to bring in the champion now, Craig. A skillful southpaw, a lot of talent, great reflexes. 19 wins out of 23. And I guess defending your title on a stage like this in front of an American audience as well as the global watchers of IFL could completely change your career.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to be fighting at home on MTK again. If we went for them, I'd be fighting them abroad or in England all the time, do you mean? So it's nice for them to have me on their show because I'm a fan of one, like. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the fight. I know Stephen Owen well, like. He's a really good, tough fighter, like, do you mean? He comes to win, so all the best on fight night, like, do you mean?
How much, given that he's the away fighter, will the crowd play a part? You'll bring your own fans. Is that something that you feel?
Not really bothered about that. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, I fought him in his hometown last time, and it is what it is. There's only us two going to be in the ring, so let's just get on a fight night, like, I mean.
He's saying he's almost sort of reborn and he's never been in love with boxing more and felt better in training. Does that make you wary, or is that just what you expected?
Not really bother me what he says at the end of the day. It is what it is, like, it is just cheap talk, isn't it? He's been training hard, he wants to come and win. I've been training hard, I'm going to defend my title and win, so we're the best man win on night, like. If I turn up 100% is going to be staying in Wales, like, I mean.
And your own aspirations long term, do you believe that this can propel you to where you maybe think you can belong at world level?
Yeah, hopefully it'll push me on towards world level, like. But we just got to take a fight at a time, like, I mean. He's a good tough fight, like, I mean. So, like, I haven't got a bad word to say about him. I think he's a nice boy, so let's do it talking in the ring on the night, like.
Thanks very much, Craig. We look forward to another cracking title dust up there. Now we go to the headline act, EBU. Most prestigious of European titles historically. This is in the flyweight between two world-class fighters, I think. The challenger has been challenged for a world title quite recently against Charlie Edwards, and we'll speak to him first through his interpreter, if that's okay. Angel, what are your first thoughts of Wales, and having been here recently to this group of islands and been defeated, do you feel like you've got unfinished business?
¿Qué tal tus primeras impresiones aquí de Cardiff y como ya has estado en estas islas para esperar para el mundial, pero que perdiste, qué sentimientos tienes sobre esta pelea?
Bueno, las impresiones han sido cortas porque llegamos ayer muy tarde y no hemos podido ver apenas nada. Hoy saldremos a dar un paseo y después de hoy sí te podré contar.
He's saying Cardiff's very nice what he's seen, but he did arrive late last night, so obviously he's going to do this press conference and go out and explore a bit more.
Great stuff. What do you know of Jay Harris as a fighter? Is he someone you've studied and maybe always knew you'd run into at some point?
¿Qué conoces de Jay Harris y si lo has estudiado mucho y si tú sabías que un día ibas a pelear con tu cara?
Bueno, ya alguna vez sonó el nombre, sonó alguna vez la pelea entre yo y Jay Harris y bueno, me parece un muy buen boxeador. Espero que haya tenido un campo de entrenamiento fantástico para que podamos dar una gran pelea.
Yeah, once or twice his name's come around, you know, that maybe we might fight in the future. So I just think that he's had a good camp and that he's ready, because we've had a great camp and we're ready for whatever he brings to the table.
Just a quick one on the audience in Spain. Will there be many tuning in on IFL and watching the broadcast and cheering you on?
Dice que seguramente que toda la televisión española seguro que van a estar en YouTube y van a estar viendo la pelea, ¿no?
Sí, sin duda, toda España, la verdad que tengo suerte de que tengo muchísimo seguimiento y espero que estén todos apoyando y bueno, evidentemente como en todas las peleas que disputo voy a dejarme la vida en el ring.
Yes, I'm very lucky that in Spain everyone gets behind me 100% whenever I fight away or even when I fight at home, so I feel very blessed in that and I'm hoping to make a good fight for him and take the belt back to Spain.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Angel. That's great and welcome to the UK. Now the headliner, the home, well not your hometown hero, but the home fighter, Jay. How you've seen him obviously recently perform at world class. He's a respectful guy, but he's clearly capable inside the ring as well. How big a step up do you feel this is for you?
This is probably the biggest step up I've had. As I said in previous interviews, he's been with 2 world champions and a European champion, so he's no pushover. So this is probably going to be the biggest test I've had so far.
And we mentioned his clash with Charlie Edwards there. Is it natural and understandable for people, and maybe even you'll look at it yourself, comparing your performance against him to Charlie Edwards?
Well, everybody has their own opinion, but you do watch the videos and try and take bits from it, but anything can happen on the night. So you just got to take each round as they come and progress from there.
Welsh boxing, as we've mentioned, is set for another sort of rise, hopefully, to where it used to be. Flyweights are certainly rising with the world champion situation. It seems you're almost in the perfect position to become a bit of a superstar in your own country.
I hope so. That'd be good. But yeah, one fight at a time, I'm going to be there.
We mentioned a few of your world champions, obviously Joe Calzaghe, Steve Robinson, Gavin Rees. We know what a great and rich history Welsh boxing has. How do you sort of harness that era of glory while trying to create something new among all these fighters?
I don't know really. This is I don't know what to say to that. That was a different generation. This is the new generation at the moment. Welsh boxing is absolutely booming at the minute. As you see, all these guys in front of me, they're carrying the Welsh. Craig Bayer, there's other prospects as well on the show. So at the minute, I think Welsh boxing is hitting a bit of a peak.
Great stuff. Well, that's all from us. Thanks very much to Jay and all the fighters, and good luck to everyone competing on the night. Before we go, we'd just like to remind you that we're back here at 2:30. Is it tomorrow?
2:30 for a 3 p.m. start.
2:30 for a 3 p.m. start for the fighters on the scales. Everyone welcome at the weigh-in, and the fighters and trainers will be available for one-on-ones. And thanks to everyone for coming. Appreciate it.
William Hill sponsors IFL TV.
I'm the man to beat, Daniel Dubois. You're going to sleep.